Hi, I'm Alexis. I'm just be asking you a few questions, just interviewing you. So tell me about yourself.
So my name's Jessica Lanier. I'm a pediatric nurse practitioner that has been working actively as a full-time practitioner for the last 2 years now. My background was a bedside nurse since 2011. It's now 2022. 8 of those years were in the neonatal intensive care unit in a level 3 NICU. So I don't have any children. I have a cat. It's pretty much my big background.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
So describe your position to me and include any specialties.
So currently this is the only nurse practitioner job that I've held so far, so the last 2 years. So technically I'm working in the neonatal intensive care unit, although I am certified as a pediatric nurse practitioner, and how that is allowed is I was hired on in a created position in a specialty care unit. So the patient population that I take are not the acute babies, more of the focus on feeder growers or things that you would see in a specialty NICU. And that is how my pediatric degree is allowed to be still working within my scope. So that's definitely something that we had to kind of arrange when I accepted this position, and then due to experience in the NICU as a bedside nurse, that is allowed the kind of critical thinking skills needed to adequately work in this field.
Interesting. So do you see an APRN influences in today's healthcare system? If so, how? If not, why?
Yeah, I think so. I think as years have progressed, nurse practitioners, APRNs, any type of advanced practice provider has been increasingly more popular. There are more jobs available. There are more individuals going back to school to seek those positions. We're definitely utilized in many different aspects, not even just on the inpatient side, outpatient side as well, and in other areas. So definitely there's much more responsibility in this position, which allows, healthcare is lacking with workers. So it's definitely a huge, I personally think it's been a huge help to have us, just to be able to keep up with the demand of what the population needs for healthcare. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Now, what are some barriers that APRNs face or that you face on a daily basis?
Okay, yeah. So daily basis, and I think this unfortunately is in a lot of areas of healthcare, is overworked for sure. I think that, like I said, many fields feel that though. Again, it's a very, very busy setting. So inpatient, outpatient, and whatnot, it's just very busy. So that is a huge barrier, you have much more responsibility, much more liability, yet the pace does not slow down whatsoever. Some barriers can be respect, although I feel like we're pretty well respected, but that's in any type of setting. Again, difference of opinions. I do know, since I am a PNP, not currently working as in that role, but some of the primary care offices have switched over to productivity for pay for providers, for physicians. So APRNs have become a threat in some physicians' eyes if they are based on productivity, because APRNs at this point in time do not receive an income based on productivity. So that is one area that I found when I was in school. If there was not that I ever felt unwelcomed, but if that was a concern by some doctors.
Oh, okay, that's interesting. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
And then lastly, what changes would you like to see made for APRNs?
Changes. Well, I wouldn't say, I think that there's already a lot of autonomy. You have a lot of decision-making skills that we're already doing. I just think changes would be continue having more positions being created to accommodate, because I know there are a ton of providers that just have not been able to find a job, because I think the demand that we're going back to school is amazing, but then if it's not being trickled as much into the healthcare settings, but I know so much more goes into that. As far as other changes, obviously I think, I don't want to say decreased workload per se, but maybe the ratio, staff to provider ratio, would be a huge help, just to adequately feel like you're doing your job, instead of maybe potentially rushing through or leaving late all the time because you're trying to, really make a difference.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Sounds good. Well, thank you for your time.
Yes, you're welcome.